FNAF Security Breach Ruined DLC is shrouded in mystery, and while the release date is seemingly on the horizon, hopefully at least, there are still some details from the poster that need an explanation. Those tiny details are what we're exploring today. Let's do it. And be sure you let me know down below what you're most looking forward to seeing in the DLC, or what you want to see the most. At 10 Blondie. We do see a new character on this poster, one that we have seemingly never seen before, and it's the little blonde girl who's holding the flashlight that's illuminating the entire scene. She's like the only source of light, but we see nothing about her. Yeah, it's kind of weird. She's short, seemingly blonde, even though she's in black and white, and is wearing light-up Skechers because she's an absolute girl boss on her way to the mall. But also, she's presumably going to be our player character, given that she is front and center in the poster. Now, as to whether we are looking for Gregory or if Gregory is looking for us is an entirely different concept. But I had a wild idea that could have explained it. I don't know. The pigtails, reminiscent of Baby. Okay, this girl has blonde hair like Elizabeth, and while we might not be able to see her face, she could also have green eyes. Because again, we can't see her face. But also, like, anyone with blonde hair in this series makes me think of Elizabeth instantly. Because, you know, she gets grabbed by Baby in '83, pigtails, blonde hair. I don't know, it seems like there's a lot that's kind of nudging us towards that conclusion. And also, given that we've made comparisons for, like, Gregory to Crying Child, it feels like this blonde girl who is seemingly looking for Gregory could be Elizabeth, you know? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, they don't look alike, I get that, but also we've only seen Elizabeth Afton in 8-bit minigames, and we also have only seen a black and white back view of this girl, so we can't we only really have the hair to go off of. But also, like, look at the lights on her Skechers, alright? They're red and purple. And I'm sorry, but when have we seen purple in this series and it hasn't been an indication of an Afton being present, alright? Plus, the red is like Vanny's eyes or like Baby's everything. And at 9, Ruin. We know that the main title of the DLC is going to be Ruin, and whether that will be referencing my opinion of the series or the actual state of the Pizzaplex is unknown, but based off the poster, it's at least going to be the Pizzaplex, but it also could be both. Because, like, the Pizzaplex does look absolutely destroyed, and I mean, it makes sense. There was a freaking earthquake sinkhole thing that opened up beneath it. The Freddy statue in the lobby is in pieces. There's plenty of rubble all over the ground. We can actually, like, see the walls next to the escalators are pretty banged up. So yeah, it's not clear if this is exactly how the lobby's gonna look. It is an illustration, not a screenshot from the game, and there are liberties that are going to be taken. Plus, this poster was released like a year ago, but again, I don't know. They could design the damage around this, or they could have, like, taken a screenshot and then had someone illustrate the screenshot and add some stuff in. I don't know. It's entirely possible, but given that this is supposed to be released this year, I doubt that they had stuff made properly for it last year. And honestly, they might even still be working on it at this point, because we all know that it's gonna get delayed. And also, if you are looking forward to the Ruin DLC and want to know more about it, be sure you hit subscribe. We'll be letting you know things as soon as we know. So, yeah. And at 8, Help Me. Very reminiscent of the Save Them minigame from earlier FNAF games, and I'm pretty sure it's FNAF 2 and, like, just FNAF 2. But you can actually see Gregory's face on the bottom left monitor with the phrase "Help Me" _ written in green lettering. This, to me, seems to indicate that we're actually going to have to save Gregory, or the plot of this is going to be us looking for him after the collapse at the Pizzaplex, because we know that they survive. We see Gregory and Freddy sitting on a hill in the final shot after the true ending, meaning that if we do end up trying to save him, our player character might die in the process. This also means that we are not going to be playing as Gregory, but I talked about that earlier. We're probably going to be playing as the blonde girl. The underscore here could also be another indication of Gregory possibly being a robot, which is a theory about this girl as well, that she is a Elizabeth human robot, kind of like Charlie from the novels, and that so is Vanny and Vanessa, and yeah, it's a whole other confusing thing that I'm not going to get into in this. But I don't know, I have no idea if that's speculation or if that's actually, and like, has some standing, but who knows. And at 7, Free. The name of the DLC may be ruined, but I'm damn glad it's not going to ruin my wallet. Especially when the main game, oddly enough, still ruined me because it cost $50 and was more broken than Skyrim upon release. Yeah, and that was before I started buying cheap frozen meals to feed myself, and I was basically broke at that point, and you know what? I still am. I should probably go back to buying those meals. But anyways, I'm glad that the DLC is free, especially with the amount of mods that are probably going to come from the DLC. I don't know. It's an attempted apology from Steel Wool to say, like, we know the game was busted and unfinished when it originally came out, so here you go. Here is a DLC for free. But like, the original game uncompressed was 86 gigs. Okay, that was bigger than Skyrim. For God's sakes. That was like the same file size and maybe even a little more than Grand Theft Auto 5, which is insane. Now it's around 62 gigs uncompressed, which is nice, 41 compressed, but still, like, goddamn, that's a lot for a game that didn't really have much going on when you think about it. And at 6, busted Chica. Like, yeah, my main girl Chica makes an appearance on the poster, but she's showing up as like the most resilient animatronic of the bunch because she's still kicking despite being crushed by a trash compactor and then having a building fall on her, and then still having the motivation to keep her smoking hot Kim K-bod. Some of it is removed and cracked. She's missing bits. Her face is seemingly melted too. She's lost the lower half of her left arm. Her left, not your left. Remember that? That's a callback. But also, she also lost her right leg warmer, which is kind of weird. But you know what? I'll warm your leg, baby. I will. All right. At least you're not Monty, who was like literally chopped in half. So. Yeah. I went through it at number 5, 2023. As I said earlier, the DLC is releasing this year, or at least as of last year it was supposed to be. I hope. I really hope. It might not be, but you know what? If it's not, then I have another 8 months to film DLC content. And milk that thing dry before it comes out, and we can actually then like rehydrate the cow or kind of like shift the cows out and then actually have something with substance to milk. But I don't know. It would be, I don't know when it's going to come out. It's like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q5, who knows? I have no idea when it is going to come out this year. We haven't heard a word of it since the poster dropped in May or March of last year. We're almost coming up to a year mark. Come on, Steel Wool, can we get a second poster for crying out loud? Please, for the love of God, I need something. I am working off of pixels of leaked set images for the FNAF movie. I need something, please. And for eyes. And while Gregory's eyes may not be robotic, well, I mean, they might be, but there's another set on the poster that I actually want to point out. The red eyes in the top left corner of the screen. That's right. Yeah, this is very clearly Vanny, but since I've seen a few people get confused, let me explain why they're Vannies. The eyes are red, which we only see Vanny have, really, since Burntrap's eyes glow purple and the animatronic eyes don't glow. But we also know that Vanny might have been able to survive the collapse due to her being controlled by Afton, so she could have known about it beforehand, because like psychic connection, whatever, virus thing, whatever is going on, but also because she was able to get onto the roof before us when the fire starts in the rooftop ending, and we were like right at the door too, so yeah. I mean, she gets pushed off by Freddy after she's up there, but she still somehow knew to be up there before us, so yeah, I'm pretty sure she'd have found a way around a sinkhole collapsing. Plus, if she's watching the security cameras, then she's going to know that something's wrong and she'll be able to get out of there in a hurry. Plus, again, red eyes, and they're in a similar position to where Vanny was placed in the first poster appearance when she showed up as the shadow. Getting close to the end of number 3, brightness. As always, the first thing you do whenever you get a new FNAF promo image is you brighten it and you you mess with the contrast, you mess with the levels, you don't throw it into MS Paint, you actually do it properly, and then maybe you hopefully find some secrets. And I did this, and the first thing I noticed were that there aren't any actual question marks on this poster, thank God, but there's quite a few things that did get revealed. Firstly, there are 2 windows up at the top of the poster instead of the one that shows up on the original. These windows are also kind of like angry eyes, which could indicate an overarching villain, which I guess it would be William, but also could be someone else like Baby. They also, like I said, have a very faint set of eyes in the top right corner as well, although that could be an anomaly. Since it's very faint, it is not nearly as clear as Vanny's eyes. But I also see that the girl in the middle has no color on her aside from the lights on her shoes. She's black and white. Totally. So yeah, maybe that's because he didn't want to give anything away, because, you know, clothing color at this point is the only leads we have to go off of, but who knows. Penultimately, in number 2, Collapse. One of the big questions we, or the very least I, have after Security Breach is what part of the Pizzaplex collapsed after the cave-in during the true ending. And it was really up in the air as to whether it was like the entire Pizzaplex or just Roxy's Raceway, but this poster and title confirms that the Pizzaplex is in ruins. The whole place is destroyed. The giant Freddy statue from the lobby is messed up, there's rubble everywhere, and of course there are still going to be some questions. It's an illustration, but yeah, how is the rest of the Pizzaplex doing, for instance? What happened to the other animatronics? What is the main goal of this DLC? But while the latter may be answered thanks to other details, like possibly looking for Gregory, I don't think that we'll have any answers for a while yet. It's supposed to come out this year. Doubt it's gonna happen. They're probably focusing on the FNAF movie, but also it's Steel Wool, so they might be able to get it out in time, but I can't be sure. Alright, I'll believe it when I see it. And finally, in at number 1, Vanny Cam. We also see 6 monitor screens on this poster which have multiple images of security cameras and Gregory across them. I talked about the Gregory one earlier, but across these 6 monitors there are 4 different images that appear, with the bottom 2 being the odd ones out, and the 4 above it having like different images. One is of Gregory looking surprised, and another of Vanny looking at a security camera that's glitching out. Very reminiscent of the iconic Bigfoot image, kind of, that's like blurry. You know, the one where it's like, it's like that, but Vanny. And I think that it's actually one of Scott's clever tricks here, because it's like kind of how he used the sister location keypad to tell us that Crying Child was bit in 1983. I think that Scott or Steel Wool is doing the same thing with this poster. By glitching Vanny out on the screen, they're showing us that either A, Vanny was the entity that Gregory was talking to that was mentioned in the therapy tapes, if that is Gregory and not this new blonde girl, or B, that Gregory having his vision glitch out when she is nearby is due to Gregory being a robot. It could be one, or it could be the other, it could be both. We don't know at this point because it hasn't come out yet and we haven't heard anything since the poster dropped. Damn it, Steel Wool. I'm trying to make content, but we'll find out when it does. And if you want to know more about the Security Breach DLC and theories about it, be sure you click the video that's popping up on screen now. Thanks for watching.